the approval had arrived. Weeks of waiting, weeks of asking friends and family and anyone who knew him to just submit their collective. They all did, and the approval had arrived. The money had been the easy part of all this. Selling some things, using what was left of the inheritance. That part had never been the problem. Their collective, their memories of him. The voice and the walk, the smile, and his warmth. It would fill in the blanks. My blanks. Getting them to agree had been the hardest part. Now that was over. As soon as it appeared in the inbox, I had sent over the money. It had been gathering dust on an account rarely used. That took a while. Not as long as the approval had, but it took a while to be given an appointment date. You don't just decide on a whim if you'd like to reconstruct a person for an hour. You don't expect it to take 20 minutes and be exactly how you remember them. There's a certain kind of person that would ask for this, and they pay whatever the amount asked to just spend more time with their lost one. You'd wait however long it took because you needed it. It's sick, really, how there are people that profit from the grief of others, but you're not thinking about that when the approval comes through. Or when the appointment date is set. Or even when you arrive there 2 hours too early. You just don't think about it. There's only one thing on your mind. That being that you're going to see them again. You're actually going to see them again. 2 hours too early. What are you meant to do? Look at your phone? Read the out-of-date Reconst magazine again? No. You sit there, waiting. And waiting. And waiting. Waiting because it's the only thing you know how to do. You've been waiting for these upcoming moments for so long. Why should an extra few minutes or hours matter? Soon enough. Soon enough. Tears. There were a lot of tears. More tears than I had ever thought possible. You know, when you come across something so small yet so powerful that it changes you. My tears changed when I saw the ad. The Reconst ad. The ad that promised me what no religion or politician could. Another moment with my dad. Past the guilt that I was there and he wasn't, past the fear that I would eventually forget the beauty of his smile. The idea of seeing him again. This man, this person who loved me and raised me and was there more than any other man was. Having him there in front of me again, I would have checked my pulse if I didn't start to cry. They led me into a small room lined with bamboo shoots, like a spa almost. In the center of this room was one metallic cylindrical mat off-center. In the center of that mat was a large glass triangle and a light underneath it. I was handed a controller. It looked like a garage fob. One button, blue. One purpose, to activate the triangle. You know what's funny? what's really funny, I hesitated. I panicked. There in my hand, right there in the literal palm of my hand, was what I had spent 9 years praying for, wishing for. In my hand was a button, and upon pressing that button, I suspect my dad would appear. You want to know why I panicked? Why, in a moment that I should have been so sure, why I just couldn't press it? It was because of my aunt. She had wanted to make me so aware of something before she approved my collective request. She said to me, and I'll never forget this, that I didn't really know my dad. I saw him different to everyone else. And if I had just gone ahead with submitting my own memories for the reconstruction, then I would have had what I had wanted for those 9 years. My version of my dad. But by asking for a complete picture to fill in those gaps, I wouldn't be getting the dad from my memories. I would instead be getting the dad that my aunt knew, that my mother knew, that his best friend who didn't even attend the funeral knew. They knew him through the highs and lows, and when he was at his best and worst, they would have an unfiltered version, the most real that he could be without really being. I sat cross-legged in front of the circle and the glass triangle and stared at the button on the fob as seconds turned to minutes and minutes turned to half hours. I just kept staring. Why am I not pressing this button?